Hey Shark fans, it's Melinda Marsalis. Welcome to Heard It on the Shark. Heard It on the Shark is a weekly interview show that airs every Tuesday at 11 a.m. on the Shark 102.3 FM radio station based in Ripley, Mississippi. Then it's released as a podcast on all the major podcast platforms. You'll hear interviews with the movers and shakers in North Mississippi who are making things happen. I'll talk to entrepreneurs, leaders of business, medicine, education, and the people behind all the amazing things happening in North Mississippi. When people ask you, how did you know about that? You'll say, I heard it on the Shark. Musical credit belongs to Hill Country Blues guitar legend Gary Burnside and the late great Buddy Grisham, playing Long Way Home from their album Acoustic Brothers, which was recorded at Sun Bear Studio in Ripley, Mississippi.
This program was recorded at Sun Bear Studio in Ripley, Mississippi.
Hey Shark fans, it's Melinda with another episode of Heard It on the Shark. And today in Sun Bear Studio, I have with me author Evan Peacock, who has most recently written Return to Elkins Creek. Evan, thanks so much for driving over today.
Thanks so much, Melinda. Happy to be here.
Now, you drove over from Tupelo.
That's right.
So you're not a native of Tupelo or North Mississippi, but you got here a few years ago, and do you like it?
Oh, I love it. Tupelo is a wonderful, wonderful town. I lived in Starkville for many, many years. I worked at the university and met a beautiful Tupelo woman about 5 years ago, and that brought me north, and I couldn't be happier.
Yeah, it's a great place. I've always thought Tupelo had such a special quality about it. It's different than other larger towns. We think of Tupelo as a large town. I'm sure it's not really. It's a large, small town.
There you go.
Yeah. Okay, now you have written this book, Return to Elkins Creek, and it is a fishing journey. Is that fair to say?
That's correct. And in fact, the subtitle is A Fishing Odyssey. And,
not a journey, an odyssey. Okay, I got you.
Yeah, it's a life journey, and that's why the name. So it begins with me growing up out in the sticks in Choctaw County, fishing on a creek bank with a cane pole, as so many Mississippians did, especially back in the day. And then kind of proceeding through life with fishing being a touchstone through my different life stages and events. And then the book ends up with me going back to Elkins Creek 50 years since I'd last walked it with a cane pole and some earthworms and walking it again just to see what had changed. So the whole book is really a metaphor for life and life changes with fishing as a central theme.
Okay, and so give me an example. Give me one of the things that you've learned from fishing.
Oh, goodness. Well, patience is an obvious one, and lying is probably another. No.
Lying, if you don't have enough patience, you can at least lie about it. Right?
That's right. Now, fishing is just a special kind of pursuit, and anyone who loves to fish will know what I'm talking about immediately. It disassociates you from all of the noise and trouble and turmoil in the world, and for a short period of time, it's just you, your pole, the fish, and it really allows you to kind of draw breath and really gain fresh perspective on just where you are in life.
And it has stayed with you all of your growing up days and your adult days. You have just gotten better gear as you got older, right?
Yeah, that's right. So I started off literally with cane poles that we would go and cut from the cane brake down in the woods near our house. And, we'd hang them from tree limbs with bricks on the bases to straighten them out. It was all very rudimentary. But as I got older, I began to spend far too much money on gear. So I've got a healthy component now. I'm not over the top. You can buy a bass boat now that would cost as much as a house, and I'm not in that league and don't care to be. I prefer smaller scale, but I've got enough.
So when you went back to Elkins Creek as a grown-up who's lived your career part of your life, did it feel smaller to you than you had imagined as a small boy?
It did. The main thing that was different is that, so there was a bridge very close to our house. The creek formed a border of our little piece of land in Choctaw County. We had some 49 acres. And we used to fish this stretch from the bridge down to Highway 413. And to me, that was a mythic journey at the time. It took all day. We're fishing as we go, of course. When I went back 50 years later and I looked at a map, it's actually only a mile and as the crow flies. And I just couldn't believe that because it just didn't compute.
Yeah, it's funny when you go back to things that you haven't seen in 50 years, how your mind has not played tricks on you, but you've sort of,
Sure. Your world gets smaller as you get older, unfortunately. But
Yes.
yeah, in some ways. In others, it got much larger as I grew older. So
We planned to do this interview on purpose on this week because Father's Day is coming up very soon. And I thought when I first saw this book that this would be a fantastic Father's Day gift because there are a whole lot of fisherman daddies out there, but there's a lot of, you don't have to be a fisherman to understand the rules that you learn and enjoy the stories that go with it. So tell people how they can purchase your book.
So you can get it various ways. The easiest way is just to go to Amazon and order it that way. But Barnes & Noble is carrying it in Tupelo. Reed's is carrying it in Tupelo. Best way to do is to go straight to the publisher's website. That's the University Press of Mississippi, and order it directly from them. And that's because they get a bigger cut, and they're such a fine press. It's something Mississippi should be really proud of. And so you can support them by buying the book directly from them. But if you just want to Google it up and, hit Amazon or whatever, you can get it that way as well.
Sure, if you're in a hurry and you're near Tupelo, you could run by the Reed's bookstore and grab one. Do you have some autographed copies there, do you think?
I do, as a matter of fact.
Okay, all right, so you could get an autographed copy right off the shelf, and you could order from Amazon. That gets it to you quickly, but if you're not in a hurry, you could go to University Press.
University Press of Mississippi.
Is that your only book that you have at University Press?
No, I've got another one that a lot of your listeners might be interested in. It's called Mississippi Archaeology Q&A. This was published some time ago, but it's basically a little primer on archaeology using Mississippi examples. It's written at a very accessible level for the public, and I've gotten great feedback on it. It's a very fun little book as well as educational.
And they can find that there. You also have Exploring Southeastern Archaeology, and it's because you're an archaeologist that was your career.
That's correct.
Okay, fishing is your sideline.
Yeah, unfortunately, I couldn't make a career out of it, but archaeology was a pretty good gig, so it all worked out.
That's right. It's outside at least, or in theory, it's outside.
That's right. It is.
Okay, but then I'm also holding in my hand your memoir from when you retired, and it's called Kudzu on the Ivory Tower. Now, of course, that's dear to our hearts here because we are not only the Shark, but we're also Kudzu 1049 in this building. Yeah. So tell me, what is the Kudzu on the Ivory Tower there?
Well, so the title is obviously a metaphor for someone coming from out in the absolute sticks of Mississippi into an academic career in archaeology of all things. It's a very unlikely life journey. I've been a very fortunate man, and I've seen a lot and done a lot, and it's just been good fortune, really. Just got lucky. But I wrote this up in my memoirs because anyone who grew up in Mississippi and had a dream about being something out of the ordinary, this book will resonate with them a lot. So that's available via Borgo Publishing in Alabama, Tuscaloosa, Alabama. But again, you can get it off Amazon.
This may not only be a good book for Father's Day, but also graduation, because there's a whole lot of people in Mississippi who, we're all just little small town people. And if you have big dreams and you live in, like we all do, live in the sticks, then it starts to feel too overwhelming. Like, I can't do that. I'm just a nobody. So you're an example that that's not true.
Well, it pays to be stubborn. Which I am. And as I was growing up, I can't tell you how many authority figures in my life, including my parents, bless their hearts, who thought that my interest in archaeology was cute and funny, but they certainly didn't think I could get a job doing it. Turns out it's a perfectly viable career field. They just didn't know, and neither did I. I was just too stubborn to take their advice. So it all worked out at the end. But what I found in life is that if you're stubborn enough, if there's something you want to do, go give it a shot. If it doesn't work out, you took your shot, and you're going to have some fun trying. If it does work out, you found your niche in life, and, you can't do better than that.
Yep, story of my life. Just take a shot, go give it a try.
That's right.
It might work, it might not. It's
That's
okay.
Right.
Either way. Okay, the book is Return to Elkins Creek by Evan Peacock. You can pick it up easily at Amazon or Barnes & Noble. Mm-hmm. You can actually physically pick it up from Reed's in Tupelo, or you can go back to University Press and order it. But get one for Father's Day or your favorite graduate. I highly recommend it.
Yeah, and anyone who fishes or knows someone who loves to fish or likes stories about growing up in the outdoors, growing up in rural Mississippi, there's something in there for everybody. So
hunters.
Yeah, anybody who likes it, yeah.
Yep, any outdoors people, gardeners. I'm sure it's all the same because it's all that big open space where your brain can just relax.
That's right.
Absolutely. Evan, thanks so much for alerting us to this book.
Oh, thank you, Melinda. I'm so happy to be here talking to you today, and I hope that people like it.
Shark fans, that's it for this edition of Heard It on the Shark. You can tune in every Tuesday at 11 a.m. to find out what's going on from other local community leaders like Evan. If you have a question, a comment, or a suggestion for an interview, or if you want access to this interview, you can find it at shark1023.com when you click on the podcast tab. Keep it tuned to the Shark 1023 and have a great rest of the day. This show is made possible by JC Media, LLC in Ripley, Mississippi. JC Media owns the Shark 102.3 Classic Rock FM radio station where the show is hosted. Subscribe to our podcast on your favorite app or stream episodes online at shark1023.com/podcasts. We also have an email in which you can share your feedback. That email is theshark1023@gmail.com.